everyone, welcome back to another Disruptive Tales educational special. Here, we make learning easy. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and ask questions. Let's get into class.
Well done, students. Examiners do ask questions of Joseph as a leader. Now, I want us to treat some questions that examiners do ask. Like, let us read this question. Why did Judah advise his brothers against shedding of Joseph's blood? Why did Judah advise his brother against shedding of Joseph's blood? You have option A, he was afraid of blood. B, he was their brother. C, blood is life. D, he wanted to raise some money by selling Joseph. If you are not careful with these options, you can pick the wrong answer. Now, when I was explaining to you the other time on Joseph as a leader, I told you that the people, when Joseph was getting to Dothan, his brother realized that the dreamer has come and they plotted to kill him. But Reuben told them not to shed blood because blood is life. Now, when they cast him into the pit, when they saw a caravan of Ishmaelites coming, Judah suggested that he should be sold to the Ishmaelites. He said, what would they have to gain if they kill his brother? So the answer is because he is their brother, not because he was afraid of blood or because blood is life. It is Reuben that made mention of that statement. So get it right. The correct option is because he is their brother. So they shouldn't kill him. So let us look at another question that examiners do ask. Another one is, who among Joseph's brother was detained? Who among Joseph's brother was detained when they got to the land of Egypt to buy grain? Who among Joseph's brother was detained when they got to Egypt to buy grain? Now, the options that was given here: A, Simeon; B, Reuben; C, Judah; D, Ephraim. So you should know, as I have told you earlier, the answer is not Reuben. The answer is not Judah. The answer is Simeon. The answer is Simeon. Simeon was detained. Why was it detained? So that Benjamin can be brought to the land of Egypt. Because he knew that if he should just tell them to go to their father to bring Benjamin, they wouldn't. But he detained Simeon in the land of Egypt so that they can go and bring their brother Benjamin, which they did. Now, let's look at on Moses as a leader. What questions examiners do ask? Now, I want us to look at questions examiners do ask. Yes, the question I want us to look at is, they say, Moses consecrated Joshua as the new leader of Israel in the presence of Aaron, B, Eleazar; C, Zadok; D, Miriam. Now you should know the option that is right there is Eleazar. Eleazar is the right option. As God has instructed him, while he was old, he told God to select a new leader for his people because he was old. And God told him to select Joshua and to present him before Eleazar, the priest. So the answer is Eleazar. The answer is Eleazar. Please don't go for the wrong option. When you are treating a particular question, you have to look at it very well before you pick your answer. Then another one you want to look under Moses as a leader is, "Ye you rebels, ye you rebels, shall we bring forth water for you out of this rock?" was spoken by Moses at A, in the valley of Moab; B, at Mount Hor; C. In the wilderness of Zin. D. At Mount Tabor. Now, if you should look at that statement, here you rebel. That was the place in which Moses committed sin against God. By instead of him speaking to the water, he smote the rock. He smote the rock. So the place, the correct answer there is wilderness of Zin. Wilderness of Zin. That is the correct option. So when you see it, I told you earlier while I was explaining that you can bring various options that are similar, but there, if you really know what happened there, you know that wilderness of Zin is the right option, but wilderness of Zin is the right option, and that was where Moses sinned against God. So let's look at another question under Joshua as under Joshua as a leader. Under Joshua as a leader, when they now ask, examiners to ask that where did Joshua gather the people of Israelites for his farewell address? For his farewell address, you should know if they can give the option like A. Shechem, Ramah, C. Wilderness of Paran, D. Meribah. You should know that the correct answer here is Shechem. Joshua guided the people of Israelites to renew their covenant for their farewell address at Shechem and not wilderness of Paran. If you remember what happened at the wilderness of Paran, that was where Moses sent spies. Moses sent spies to go and visit the land of Canaan. So the right option here is Shechem. The right option here is Shechem. Now, let us look at another question that has been asked, that they used to ask, examiners used to ask in JAM and in other exams. Now, Joshua was full of the spirit of wisdom because now if you should look at the option A, he did everything as the Lord commanded. Moses had placed his hand on him. The Lord had promised to be with him as he was with Moses. He meditated on the book of the Lord day and night. Now, if you should look at the instruction in which God gave to Joshua, God has told him that he needs to meditate on the book of the law, that this book of the law should not depart from his mouth day and night, that he should study to observe what is written therein, that in it he can obtain good success. So therefore, for us to prove the answer, then we should know that the answer is he meditated on the book of the law and did things that are written therein. So those are the questions. So we have so many questions that examiners can ask you under Joshua as a leader. So on Deborah as a leader now, let's look at another question. For offending God, the Israelites were delivered into the power of Canaanites for A. 7 years, B. 20 years, C. 12 years, D. 15 years. I have told you while I was explaining on Deborah as a leader that God gave them into the hand of the king of Canaan for 20 years. For 20 years. So any other options are not correct. So they were under the oppression of the Canaanite king for 20 years. They were under the oppression of the Canaanite king for 20 years. Another question they can ask you that Deborah instructed Barak to select 10,000 men from the tribe of Naphtali and Zebulun at where they can put so many rivers. But you should know that the river, as I have told you earlier, that she instructed Elena to take 10,000 men from Naphtali and Zebulun to River Kishon. River Kishon. So every other options are not correct. So you can treat so many questions under leadership. Under Deborah as a leader, Joseph as a leader, Joshua as a leader. So when you treat those questions, then you'll be able to get the answer. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. See you in our next class. Do have a wonderful day. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your friends. Bye-bye.